Hi everyone, it's Mike here and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this is day 2 of my 7 days of Halloween. Today we're going to be making some Googly Ghouls artist trading coffins. Okay, so there is a plethora of bits and pieces on my desk. Scissors, there's some vicious looking tweezers. I've got washi tapes, bits of card. I've got some of the Halloween word stickers from Timmy. There's also a selection of the 8x8 papers from his abandoned collection. I believe this is the first abandoned collection, not the second abandoned collection, because he did do a different one. Was it this year or last year or, well, whatever. It's similar but not the same. So, but we might not necessarily need to use these, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. So let me just create a little bit of space from the desk, get rid of these bits and pieces of paper. Right, and I'll show you exactly what I've done. So I've got some black card, just ordinary black cardstock that I've cut into the standard ATC size, which is 2.5 by 3.5 inches, and in new money that is, I believe, 63 millimeters by 89 millimeters. So if you work in metric, 63 by 89 gives you 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. But you know, you work with what you've got, don't you? And what I've also done is I've gone through my collection of vintage peeps, and I've pulled out 3 lovely ladies and 3 rather handsome chappies. So those are what I'm going to be turning into my Googly Ghouls for my artist trading coffins. And when I say artist trading coffins, I mean artist trading coffins. So what I've done is I've created this little template using the 2.5 inch by 3.5 inch size, and all I've done is I've trimmed off equally bits at the side and bits at the top to create that coffin shape, and I'm going to use that as my template. So that is going to be my template to create my pieces of card. So all I have to do is just to line those up, make sure the edges touch, and then I can quickly and easily just snip off those edges and use the same template for the front. Makes sense, I hope. So let me just pull the guard off my scissors and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So I'm just going to hold that in place, snip, hold it in place, snip, hold it in place, and then just whip all the way down. Now you can pre-do this if you want to, do all of your ATC backs. I'm just going to do one just for the time being, just to show you exactly what it is that I'm doing. So I've now, I see, I was off a little bit there. We were off just a tad. Just a tad. There we go. There's the coffin shape, which matches my template. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing with my chap. There you go. Actually, what might be easier is for me to cut this out first. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut out head and shoulders into that coffin, well, not into that coffin shape, just cut out around the head and the shoulders. You'll see what I mean in a second. But I'm not going to go really too fussy once I get to the head. In fact, look, I'm actually going to just cut his ears off. And then I'm going to cut straight across the head and then come back down, cut his ears off, and then pay attention to the shoulders and the jacket. There we go. I know, it looks strange, doesn't it? But you'll see why. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my back now. So I've got him in the middle, and then I'm just going to snip off the shape so it fits the shape of the coffin. Okay, that's that one. Let's just put these other peeps to one side for a second, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do next. So he can go to one side. Now what you can do, you can either use a piece of the Tim Holtzy paper or whatever background paper you want to create. If you don't have any Halloween-y themed kind of backing papers that you want to use, you can create your own by just layering up some Halloween themed washi tape, which is really, really easy to do. Or you can do a combination of the two if you want. So this is a piece of Tim Holtz back or paper, and I'm going to just do exactly the same thing again, what I did earlier, just using the pieces as my template. I'm going to just freehand snip round. And then I've got another coffin piece of paper. Perfect. Okay. Just get rid of those bits there. Actually, I don't know whether I want to use that one, just for the time being. I think I might want to use this one. It's got a bit more colour to it. So let's do the same thing with this one. I know I'm being a bit contrary, can't make up my mind, but you know, we're all allowed to change our minds. So if you wanted to make the colours part of your set, and this is an easy way of doing it, just cut them all out of the same paper if you want. There we go. Okay, so we've now got black. That should fit nicely. There we go, just about. You can always trim it down later if you want to. So we've now got nice purple back. So if you want to add some washi tape, let's just grab some of this skull and crossbones. And then I'm going to put a piece right the way across the middle, like that. And then we've got some spidery web washi tape. There's nothing wrong with my eyesight when I can see the ends. So let's put that across there like that. What else have we got? Got some poison labels. Thought I had another smaller one. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just imagining it. Lovely. A lovely word poison right the way across, look. Like it. Move it to the side. That'll do. Okay, so then all we have to do is we can just wrap those over. We don't even need to snip them off if we don't want to. Maybe that one. Just snip to the end because I've gone around the corner. So just to make it easier. Around the corner and then around the back, and that can just fold right over like so. So we've got some nice kind of washi tape on there. Now you can grab your distress ink and just go around the edge. Like so. And then we can glue that down onto our card. So I'm using a little bit of wet glue, going over the washi tape, making sure I've got enough on. Grab my back, and then I can just ease that into position onto the front of my card, or onto the back of the card. And there I've got my first artist trading coffin back made up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to whiz off and I'm going to do another 5. So I'm going to end up with 6. And I'm going to use different coloured backgrounds with a different kind of mixture of the washi tapes to make each one different. And don't forget, we've still got this strange looking character that we haven't dealt with just yet, but we will do when I've done the other 6, and then I'll show you how he's going to come into play. Okay, so where's my template? I'll create another one, well, another 5 of these, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I've done 6 different coffin shaped backgrounds. I've tried to vary the colour a little bit, so you've got some reddies, some purplies in there, a few just darkies, and that's pretty much all we need. It's all glue, they're all starting to dry and they're all curling, which is alright. Okay, so I will show you the next step. Let's do, which one should we use? Pick a number between 1 and 6, Ian.
9. 5.
Right, number 5, okay. So, this was the chap that we picked earlier. I'm just going to take that little bottom bit off. Got my distress ink, so I'm just going to go around the edge with the distress ink. Like so, and then grab the glue. Now, I did this earlier and I forgot to close it, and I've now got a big piece of glue hanging off my hat. Yes, I am still wearing the witch's hat, in case you're wondering.
My God, it suits you.
Yes, indeed. Seeing as we're doing Halloweeny things today.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's my strange shaped headed Victorian gent. Well, I say Victorian, it could be Edwardian. I'm presuming a little bit there, aren't I?
You got a bowler hat on?
No. It's not even steampunky. Right, so you can see now we've got that real nice background covered up, which is fine. You see the pattern in the background that almost looks like a skull. It's a bit creepy. Don't know whether that's intentional. Tim. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do, now I've got my chap centered on the page, is do some more cutting out. Now, prior to me cutting these lovely people out, I also printed out a series of these. Some skulls, and I did them at the right kind of size to fit the people. So I've got G1, 2 and 3, which is gentleman 1, gentleman 2 and gentleman number 3, and then I've got lady number 1, lady number 2 and lady number 3. Now the problem is I can't remember which order that I put them in on the sheet at. I think it was that. So G1 corresponds to this chappy here. I know. I can't be clever and pretty at the same time. Actually, that's one of your lines, that, isn't it, Ian?
Yeah.
Mr. Bentley's padding around as well. I can hear him. I think he's just got up and walked out in disgust. So I should really use a smaller pair of skizzers for this. But I've lost my permission slip.
Chunky scissors are best for you.
Okay, so I've cut my little skull out. Let's just move all our lovely peeps to one side. Before we do anything, I've got this little black pen. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to very gently just go in, because there's no way on earth I was going to cut that bit out. I seriously haven't got time for that. And then grab a bit of distress ink. Okay, and then we're going to glue that on the top. So shake it to the bottom before opening it up. This is where the tweezers came in, but I think this one's large enough for me not to worry too much. Okay, so he will now fit just nicely over that. This is the reason why I cut his ears off.
Oh man.
I know.
Hope don't wear glasses.
Bless. We don't wear glasses.
Do skeletons have to have short sight?
Sorry?
Skeletons
Well, theoretically they don't have any sight at all, do they?
seem to do very well.
I know. Okay, so there's that there. So we've got that. Now what I've also done, and I'll just cut this off the sheet, so I don't want to give all my secrets away. Right, somebody a long time ago, I think it was Cindy Utter, sent me this roll of washi tape with the Dicky bow ties on, because back in the day when I was still new to doing YouTube, I used to wear Dicky bow ties all the time, or Dickies. When I did my videos, it was kind of my thing, and then I kind of wore off. The novelty kind of wore off for me. Anyway, I've still got lots and lots of Dicky bow ties, and I do occasionally break them out. So what I've done is I've actually just put, I didn't tell you what I did I? I actually put some of the Dicky bow tie washi tape on a piece of card, and then that's what I've just done. I've just cut it out. So just quickly go around the edge, just distressing a little bit, because that's what we do. We distress, and then we get a tiny little speck of glue, and just put that, it's not opening, there we go. We don't need a huge amount. And then again, if you want to use the tweezers, he says dropping it on the floor, and luckily I've done it butter side up, which is fine. It could have been nasty.
I've got a Skelly Bob joke for you.
Oh, go on then.
What does short-sighted skeletons wear?
Go on.
Spectacles.
Spectacles. That would have been ghosts, really, wouldn't it? But hey ho.
That came to me while I was looking at the chips in the oven.
Oh, thank you. Ian's cooking teeth this evening. Okay, so we've got those. So we've got our skull down and our Dicky bow down. Before I go on to any more embellishing, I'm going to go away and do the other 5. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing again. Don't forget, I've got my corresponding sized skulls to my corresponding Edwardian stroke Victorian stroke people. So you saw what I did, the fact that I cut all my chaps out. Let's just do this one here quickly. Again, I'm just going to trim off that little bit of white at the bottom, just a tad, and then I'm just going to go in around the shoulders. This one's got a bit of a colour tint to it, but it's fine, mainly because I did it. I done it.
I've done that.
So I'll just round those shoulders off, like so, and then just, it's got a flat top anyway. I don't know how I'm doing that yet. Oh, blimey. Because we haven't cut it into the coffin shape yet, have we? No!
Get ahead of yourself then.
I am getting ahead of myself. I'm going to use the purple one. I don't normally like purple, but I actually kind of like that colour. Perhaps I'm sort of converting myself. Right, so let's turn that round. Ian's laughing at me.
Like natural gas.
Like natural gas. Can't help it, I'm old.
Thank you, what was she called?
Was it?
Esther? No.
No, you're thinking of Elsa Lanchester. No, it was Nursey.
It was Nursey, yeah.
It was Nursey.
Nursey was Elsa Lanchester.
No. Elsa Lanchester was the Jessica Marbles.
Murder by Death.
That's it.
Brilliant film. Appropriate, really.
Yes. Now, Neil Simon, not Paul Simon, two different people.
Yeah.
I made that mistake once before and I got shouted at. Right.
I wonder why.
Neil Simon was the film person, and was it Paul Simon was
The singer.
Simon and Garfunkel, I think. Or was it the other way around?
No, Paul Simon. I don't know.
Glad it's not just me. Right, so let's just place our chappy down. There we go, there we go, there we go. I know it looks weird when the heads are correct, but you know, when you've got a skull, you can't have ears or moustaches poking out. It don't work. Okay, so there's that one. And then I'll just quickly... Yes, it is going to be facing a different direction, but I've done them in such a way that you can't really tell, because the body is straight on, but they're looking off to one side, which is the perfect pose, really.
Wistfully.
Wistfully into the distance, yes. Again, real quick, go around with the distressing. That was a bit juicy. And then the pen, just to colour in those little bits there, just really, really gently. Don't want to go too hard, because I'll end up breaking the pen nib, because it's very, very fine. It's a 0.1 millimetre, which in old Imperial is small. I don't know. 1/16. Oh, look at that. Butter side down that time. It's a good job I've got wet wipes, isn't it? Okay, so I'm positioning it just at a little angle. But of course this chap has already got a dicky bow. Look. But that's fine. I'm going to cover it up. Actually, I may just tilt him slightly that way. Let's give him a bit of a wistful tilt. Try saying that after you've had a drink. There we go. Baby wipey says making strange noises. I've got some kitchen towel somewhere. Right, one more. So what dicky bow shall we give this one? Let's give him the orange one there. This is how I worked out positioning on the size. There you go. That's what I was talking about earlier when I said I didn't want to give my secrets away. I was busy working out sizing for the shape of the coffin, but never ended up using those cheap versions because they were cheating. So I did them all by hand in the end. So there we go, one more dicky bow tie. I'll do this one just to the end, as in stick the dicky bow on, and then you've seen me do two. So I'll go away and I'll do exactly the same to the other chap and the other three ladies. It's exactly the same process. And yes, they will all be wearing dicky bow ties, including the ladies. And all for equal opportunities and gender equality. So they're all wearing one, whether they like it or not. Right, let's just flip that upside down, and then we're going to cover up its existing dicky. Love it. Absolutely love it. It's fantastic. Okay, so done two. Still got four to do. I'm conscious of the length of time that it's taken me to do those, so I'll go away and then come back when I'm up to the same point with the other remaining four. Okay, I've just taken a break just to show you what I'm going to do with this one, which is a little bit different. Now, she's wearing a hat, so what I've done is I've actually cut a slit in the card, just following that line of the brim of the hat. So when I get the skull, I can position it kind of in the right place, just lift it up a little bit, and then I can slide it under, just so it kind of looks a bit more realistic, if you like. Okay, that's it. Just wanted to show you how I was going to do that. I'll get off and finish the others. See you in a little while. Okay, so I'm now back at that stage with the first one. So all of the fronts have been added on, all of the skulls have now been added on, and all of the dicky bow ties have been added on. Yes, I know, even though she doesn't have a collar, she's still wearing one. I did say they're all going to get it. They're all going to get one. So I've even, on this one, I did actually cut round a hair and slide it underneath just to give it a bit of a different look to it. But with that one, I just thought I'd leave that one. I like the wild hair behind it and the fact there's spider's webs, so they're fine. I'm happy with the others, totally happy with the others. Right, so the next thing that I wanted to do is to add the next embellishment. Now, the reason I called these Googly Ghouls is because that's exactly what I want to add on next, is some googly eyes. Now, just so that you can see what I was talking about, I've actually done one complete. Yeah, it does have the googly eyes on. So this is what the rest of them are going to look like. So let's get cracking and start adding on these googly eyes. So all I'm doing is, like on the larger ones, I've got different size googly eyes. So let me just tip a couple out of the packet. Now these I picked up from my local craft store a couple of years ago, and I've still got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds left, but also somebody sent me some in Happy Mail. So I've got a drawer full of, let me just get rid of what else is in there, you can see what I mean. I've got a drawer full of googly eyes, look. They're everywhere, absolutely everywhere. I've got different sizes, shapes. Just been throwing other stuff. Oh, a couple of SD cards. Forgot I had those. Yeah, so as you can see, I've got absolute tons of googly eyes. I could open a googly eye shop. So, glue. That's all I need is a little bit of the glue to come out. Don't need a huge amount. So I'll just grab a bit of scrap paper. That's it. So on this one, we'll just add one little drop into each of the eye sockets. And this is where the tweezers came in, because I can position them exactly where I wanted. There we go. So I can do the same thing. What I'll do is use the larger ones for the larger characters. I'm trying to squeeze these out. They're sticking now. There we go. So the larger ones do with a little bit of a larger eye, and the small ones, only two of the real small ones. I've got some real small googly eyes. That will do for those. So if I just quickly do these en masse. Oops. I think once the eyes go down, it just adds a complete silly dimension to them. They're no longer scary or gruesome. They're just whimsical, comical even. Comical. That one stuck to my finger. Still getting used to these. You squeeze to open and let go to hold. Fabulous. So with it being liquid glue and on plastic, it does take a little bit longer for the glue to dry, which is why I want to try and get these done, and then I'm going to call it a day, because actually it's quite late in the evening here in the UK while I'm doing this. It's fast approaching 7 PM, so it's maybe a larger pair in that one because she's quite big, I think, but these are a lot smaller, so we can get away with it, I think. A bit of wet wipe, that's it. Just clean my hands quickly. Right, oh, don't need 3 of those. It's not a triclops. Okay, so they're daft. Okay, so real small ones. Oh, actually, bag opening there. It is. Okay, 1, 2, 3. God, the static on these is unbelievable. They're jumping all over the place. Static electricity. All good stuff. Absolutely. I'm going to use that fantastic English word again. These are bonkers. Going bonkers in yonkers. Which is upstate New York, I think. There we go. Sorry. They're just ridiculous. Absolutely. Brill. Okay, I'm going to leave these to dry overnight now, but it won't be overnight for you. It'll only be a few seconds. But for me, it'll be overnight. So I shall leave those as they are, and I'll be back again tomorrow to add the finishing decoration and phrases. Good morning, everyone. Well, it's morning for me. I know it's only been a few minutes or seconds for you, but for me, I've had a very good night's sleep. Thank you very much. And I'm just on to my first coffee of the day. Okay, so my googly eyes have just absolute crazy. Anyway, my googly eyes have all set quite nicely, so I'll just move those out of the way for now. And we're going to add our quote. So I've got those stickers from Tim Holtz. So these are the, what do they call them? Curiosity stickers. And these are the ones where they've got the quotes from books that they've taken from the book text and then added them as stickers. So we're going to add one to each of them. So this one, I'm going to put this one which says, "I believe you're scared." And we'll put that right the way across that, or shall we do it down the side? Yeah, down the side, I think. I actually quite like it there. Yeah, following the line of his shirt, or his lapel, if you like. And then the same thing again, going to take a jelly roll pen, so a white jelly roll pen, and I'm going to add some faux stitching, just as a little bit of decoration. Make sure we've got plenty of ink coming through. These jelly roll pens do write over the top of washi tape as well, which is good. There we go. And then I'm going to add some doodle dots or some little doodlings just to kind of break up that space all over, just to add a little bit more visual interest into the background. Like so, but only in that background. I'm not doing it on his top or on his jacket or anything like that, so just in the background. And then once I've done this, there we go. Love it. So now I've done that, I shall go away and do the same thing to all the others. And then when I've done that, and allow them to dry for a few seconds, I'll be right back. Of course, I'm started doing the doodling on that and I haven't put the quote on, have I? Duh. Right, let's pick another one. Okay, took me a while to choose, but we've gone for that one. A wicked thing. Right, so carry on. Just going around, adding in our faux stitching. Hello, Mr. Bentley. You come to see me? Eh? You come to see me? There's a good lad. Mr. B's just come up to say hello. Eh? Hello, good lad. Eh? Beautiful boy. I know. Alright. All good stuff. What? What do you want? Eh? What do you want? Is it Teddy playtime? Yeah, is it Teddy playtime? He stood behind me looking at me as if to say, come on, it's time to play. Give me a second, sweetie. Okay, so I will carry on doing these doodly dots. I'll take a little break to have a play with Mr. Bentley with Teddy, because otherwise I'm not going to get any peace until I do. And then I'll carry on doing all the others, adding the doodle dots, the quotes, which I've already kind of pulled off the sheet. I'm ready to add to the front of the cards, and then once I've done those, we'll be ready to add our back. Cool, love it. Okay, onward and upward, as the saying goes. Okay, so this is just the last one where I'm just going round the word block with a pen just to kind of make it pop a little bit. This is a gel grip Signo Uniball, which writes on pretty much most things, which is a really good, inexpensive pen for writing art journals and mixed media projects. So let's just zoom back out again. Ta-da! And there we've got all those all done. So all we have to do now is to do the back. So traditionally with an artist trading card, obviously this is a coffin, there's a sheet that you put on the back which tells you what it's part of. So let me just grab mine and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the normal kind of artist trading card back that we use to put and to write on, put information about when it was created, the title of the set, how many in the set, and who's done it. This is where I've pre-filled it in on the computer when I've printed mine out, because I've got a stack of these ready to go. All I have to do then is just fill in the tops and the bottoms. But unfortunately, that's not going to fit on there, is it? So really, we need one that's the same coffin shape, like that. So I've created a special set of coffin-shaped artist trading card backs, or artist trading coffins, if you like. And these will fit on the back of your coffin card, or on the back of my coffin card, with just a little bit of a border all the way around. You can just see there's a kind of little black border all the way around. So what I've done, because these are a one-off and are a special, is I've created a PDF sheet and I've called them AT Coffin backs. And there's 9 on this sheet. Obviously they're completely blank. So what I've done is I've created this as a PDF and I'm going to offer it for free on my blog. So if you'd like to download this, it will print on 8.5 by 11 as well, even though this is an A4 sheet. I have made sure there's enough gap at the bottom for it to fit on an 8.5 by 11. 8.5 by 11 is wider, so this will fit on both A4 and 8.5 by 11. So it doesn't matter whether you're in the US or anywhere else in the world that uses metric. It will fit on there. And then all you have to do then is just print that out, cut them out, and then you can use them for your own artist trading coffins. If you haven't got the template for the actual bigger size, obviously just use it a little bit bigger. Doesn't make any difference. Or you just cut your 2.5 by 3.5, lay that over the top, and then you can see where to cut to create the coffin shape. You don't really need a separate template for them. But anyway, so that's available on my blog. There will be a link in the description area below the video for you to download that for free as a Halloween gift from me. There you go. So I've cut mine out already, or cut some out already, but what I need to do is I need to fill them in first. Because I've got the googly eyes, I can't stick them on the back and then write, because yeah, it's going to be difficult. So what I need to do is to distress the edges, fill these in, and then I'll be right back. I know there's only 5 there and there's 6 there, but I have got another sheet there. Right, so here's one I prepared earlier. So already filled in. I did it all on the computer because there's no way my handwriting would fit into these little spaces here, because I tried, look, and it wouldn't go in. So I did try and do it by hand. Then I thought, do you know what, it might be easier if I just type it into the computer and get them to fit. So I'll cut all of these out, and then once I've cut all those out, I'll be back. It's either drying time or cutting out time, isn't it? It's what takes up the majority. Okay, so that's the last one. Days like this, I wish I'd kept my scan and cut, or had room for it. I still actually got it. It's just in the garage downstairs. There's just no room for it up here. It's just gathering dust. Right. But seeing as I only ever use it once in a blue moon. Right, so we've got the 7. So all we need to do now is just to give them a bit of a distress. So add some distressing. So I'll whip round the edges of all these, and again I'll be back in a jiffy. Okay, so that was the last one. So there we've now got all of the backs. So all we have to do now is to stick them on. Now, I've already got one on the back of there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick number 1 back over the top. That will cover that one altogether. So we've got the glue. It'll just make that one a bit more rigid. So number 1. I'll just slide that exactly over the top of the one underneath. I'm hoping you can read that. It's not too bad. Let me just adjust the exposure a little bit. Ooh, there we go. So now you can read it. So created as part of my 7 Days of Halloween YouTube video series for 2021, day 2 of 7 Days of Halloween. There we go. And it will say the same on the back of all of them. Halloween Googly Ghouls. Right, I'll go away and start gluing the back, all these backs. I'll try and do them in order. But then again, it doesn't really matter what order we do them in from here on out, does it? So once these are done, I'll be right back. Okay, so that was the last one of the 7. So they've now all got their backs on. So troublesome endings, starting from number 1. Number 2, haunted for life. Number 4. Number 3, wicked thing. That must be number 4. Yep. 5, 6 and 7. So there we go. There's our 7 artist trading cards, Googly Ghouls. So all I need to do now, just to finish off, is just to put them into their protective sleeves. So this should be fun with the googly eyes. If I can see where I'm going, there we go. So each one will go in its own separate little plastic sleeve. And that's it. So that is my Googly Ghouls for Halloween day number 2, or my day 2 of my 7 days of Halloween. I can barely speak this morning. There we go. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me create these coffin shaped artist trading cards, or artist trading coffins. If you have, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. That's all from me for now. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now.